Now at 5, as the holiday travel hits record highs, can Newark Airport keep up with the rush? Plus, as communities gather to honor fallen heroes this Memorial Day, see how Grand Lake's new Memorial Park is bringing people together to remember and give back.
President Trump threatens steep new tariffs on the European Union. I'm Erica Brown at the White House with more on the trade war and the president's escalating feud with Harvard University.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
One person is shot after a road rage incident on Highway 59 in Neosho. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Tanya Bach. Neosho police say 2 vehicles were involved in the road rage incident around 6:30 yesterday evening near Quince Road. And that's where the highway narrows to 1 lane. Officers say the suspect, Anthony Keller of Goodman, tried to pass a pickup truck but was blocked and then intentionally hit the truck, forcing it off the road. As Keller drove by the truck, he fired a shot, hitting the other driver in the arm. Police say Keller drove away and the victim turned around and went to the hospital. Prosecutors have formally charged Keller with several charges, including assault and unlawful use of a weapon. Well, AAA predicts a new record of more than 45 million Americans traveling more than 50 miles this holiday weekend. CBS News transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve takes a look at what they can expect.
By road, train, and plane, Americans are moving towards their summer vacations. Most will drive this Memorial Day weekend.
We have a huge van that we rented, so we're just gonna take it slow and then make stops, to kind of keep us from staying in the car too long.
Overall, AAA expects 45.1 million to travel. At Newark Airport Thursday, a long line of planes waiting to take off as Alexa Pernston waited for her flight to Japan.
How concerned about flying out of Newark are you today?
I'm coming in anticipating that there might be some challenges, so if there aren't any challenges, I'll be pleasantly surprised.
The FAA has limited the number of flights at Newark, hoping to reduce the mounting delays and cancellations stemming from runway work and ongoing FAA staffing issues that followed a series of air traffic control communications outages.
I'm flying out of Newark on Tuesday. I've been flying out of Newark for the last 3 years.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy.
How big of a test is this summer?
So we are going to have, I think, historic flights, the biggest summer that we've had in American history. It's going to stress the system. And do I think it's going to be safe? Of course. We're going to get Newark fixed. But are you going to see some disruption in regard to delays? Yeah, you're going to see delays. Is it safe? Yes.
The TSA expects to screen about 18 million people this Memorial Day weekend. Secretary Duffy says he believes Newark will start to show real improvements when that runway construction project ends in mid-June and new technology at that FAA center comes online probably by the end of June. As for your drive home on Monday, AAA says the best times are either early in the morning or later in the evening. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, Arlington, Virginia.
Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us now with a first look at your weekend travel forecast.
Yeah, and we're back into the showers and thunderstorms. Very, very wet, stormy, loud weekend ahead. We already had thunderstorms working through. Some of these storms a little bit stronger. They're staying just below severe limits, but this one moving out of Lebec County is at least pushing severe limits. A lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, very heavy amounts of rain, a lot of moisture in these storms. And this is what we're going to see as we go through the evening hours. You can see individual thunderstorms as well, northeastern Oklahoma into southwest Missouri. These are going to be kind of on and off throughout the evening hours, may down tick a little bit as we get late evening, and then they start picking up again after midnight and then late tonight. So I'm thinking 3 or 4, we're going to get a big MCS moving in. That's going to give us a threat for very gusty winds and a severe threat. We're going to look at the rest of the weekend here in just a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Memorial Day honors the men and women who gave their lives for our country, and several events throughout the weekend will give folks the chance to do just that. Today, visitors headed to Shangri-La Resort on Grand Lake's Monkey Island. It was the first anniversary celebration of the Legacy of Liberty World War II Memorial Park. Organizers say this event reminds us to contribute to our community and remember the lessons of history.
We took the opportunity today to bring that forward, to remind people how important it is to take the leadership that was shown by these people in that period and put it into today's activities so that 80, 100 years from now, what that flag stands for and everything behind it continues to endure, and the liberties and the freedom of our country stand tall.
The park features an Iwo Jima statue replica, Code Talkers Memorial, and World War II vehicles. President Trump issues a pair of social media posts early this morning threatening new tariffs. Also today, the administration loses a court battle over a new rule targeting Harvard University. Erica Brown has more details from the White House.
President Trump says the European Union may not be able to avoid his new 50% tariff beginning June 1st.
I'm not looking for a deal. I mean, we've set the deal. It's at 50%.
The EU has been in trade talks with the U.S., but the president says they're not going well.
We're going to see what happens, but right now it's going on June 1st. And that's the way it is. No, they haven't treated us properly. They haven't treated our country properly.
The president also called out Apple CEO Tim Cook, demanding Apple and others make their smartphones in the U.S. or face a 25% tariff at the end of June.
It would be more. It would be also Samsung and anybody that makes that product. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fair.
Trump was talking about the Apple tariffs
We want to make our cars.
when his iPhone began ringing, interrupting his Q&A with the press.
It's only a congressman.
In the Trump administration's escalating feud with Harvard, a federal judge temporarily blocked the administration from banning foreign students from the university.
Harvard's going to have to change its ways. And so are some others.
The Department of Homeland Security accused Harvard of allowing, quote, anti-American, pro-terrorist agitators to assault Jewish students on campus. Michael Gritzback, a Harvard University student from Germany, says the administration's order has sparked concerns on campus.
It's a real fear and a real threat, so it might happen. Even if we win at court, we do not know if the government will accept that, or if the whole situation will just take too long for us to react in time.
Foreign students make up about a quarter of Harvard's student body. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Well, China's foreign ministry condemned the Trump administration, saying it was politicizing education. Chinese students make up a quarter of all 1.1 million international students studying in the United States. Well, still ahead, as Memorial Day weekend kicks off, health experts urge you to protect your skin. To find out why Don't Friday is raising awareness about the dangers of sun exposure and how you can stay safe. Plus, the latest study shows helmet laws save lives. See how wearing one can make all the difference. Topping today's Health Watch, the Friday before Memorial Day is designated as Don't Friday. The National Council on Skin Cancer Prevention says the goal is to reduce the most common cancer and encourage more people to take steps to stay safe in the sun. Bradley Blackburn has more.
These days, you'll find 66-year-old Teresa Stubbs under an umbrella at the beach, covered up and covered in sunscreen.
I put it on the face, I put it on the whole body that's going to be exposed. I've got the hat on, I've got sunglasses on. It's feeling so well.
She had plenty of sunburns as a kid, which led to several non-melanoma skin cancers over the last 25 years, 4 in just the last few months.
If you notice a change like that or anything different, you really have to get it looked at.
One blistering sunburn can double your risk of skin cancer.
Dermatologic surgeon Dr. Nicole Golbari at NYU Langone Health says protection starts with a water-resistant broad-spectrum sunscreen that blocks UVA and UVB rays. She also recommends tinted sunscreen, which has iron oxide in it.
Having a tinted sunscreen protects not just against the ultraviolet light, but also against the visible light. The visible light is what can cause hyperpigmentation of the skin, excess aging of the skin.
Also choose a sunscreen with an SPF of at least 30.
I prefer my patients don't wear SPF 100 one time a day. It's more about wearing SPF 30 multiple times a day. Reapplication is key.
Teresa's skin cancers were taken out through Mohs surgery, a procedure that allows Dr. Golbari to take as little of the skin as possible while removing the entire cancer.
All of those have helped us be more precise in our diagnoses and our treatment, and ultimately lead to better patient satisfaction, less scarring, and earlier detection.
I love the sun, but you do have to take precautions.
As for Teresa, she's grateful her skin cancers are being detected early, and she says you can still have fun in the sun. Just protect yourself. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Well, dermatologists say the best sunscreen is the one you will use, so find a formulation that works for you, whether that is a chemical or a mineral sunscreen, cream, spray, or stick. Well, a child's body weight could indicate whether they will be at risk for obesity as an adult. A study by the ECHO program tracked children's body mass index and found about 10% of kids saw a rapid increase in their BMI from ages 3.5 to 9. Those kids are more likely to be obese as adults, increasing the risk of developing several serious health problems. Well, motorcycle helmet laws save lives. A study by the American College of Surgeons found in North Carolina, where helmets are mandatory, motorcycle riders experience less severe injuries and are less likely to go to the ICU than in South Carolina, where only riders under 21 have to wear helmets. While less than half of riders in South Carolina wear helmets, more than 90% wear them in North Carolina. Well, people tend to trust those who grew up poor over people who grew up rich. A study by the American Psychological Association did an experiment where it gave participants profiles of fictional people and asked who they would trust more with money. Most people believe those who grew up with less money were more moral and trustworthy than people who had a privileged childhood. That's a look at today's health news. A little later, could tax-free tips boost paychecks or just shift the burden? The debate heats up.
Plus, a lot of rain moving in as we head into the weekend. Well, again, we got showers, we got thunderstorms rolling through the area. Some of these a little bit on the stronger side, and we're going to see numerous rounds as we go into the holiday weekend. It stinks it has to happen on a holiday weekend, especially one that so many people get out of town, hit the lakes, camping, floating. Be careful. We have flash flood watch across most of the region, anywhere from 2 to 8 inches of rain over the next few days, depending on where you live. Look at the batch of showers and thunderstorms cruising through now. What I'm really watching is what develops out here, eastern parts of Colorado into Nebraska, because it's going to take a dive toward us later on tonight. That's going to give us our highest severe threat as we go into the overnight hours. These are strong, a lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, right along I-49 into Joplin, the heaviest kind of Barton County into Crawford County and also Cherokee County. This batch is sliding toward the south and to the east. We'll see if anything develops behind it. A little stronger storm once you get into Craig County, and then kind of spotty along and south of I-44, but pretty good storms rolling through to kick off the holiday weekend. All right, level 2 threat for severe weather. Main threat, wind and hail. Later on tonight in the yellow. Tomorrow we do it again. Level 2 threat Saturday, mainly wind and hail from about Pittsburgh south. Even on Sunday, it kind of sinks a little farther south. Level 2 threat. Main threat's going to be wind and hail. We do have a tornado threat this weekend, but it is low, which is always good to see. Look at these rain chances really spiking late tonight, and then we'll start to taper off as we go through the morning hours tomorrow. Have a little bit of a window that we won't see severe weather or thunderstorms, at least during the afternoon. All right, showers, thunderstorms plugging through, kind of hit and miss all evening. We could see them kind of popping up really any time. But here's about midnight. They increase after midnight. Here's that bigger batch of thunderstorms that will have that higher wind threat, severe threat, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. Here's 7 o'clock in the morning. We'll start with showers and thunderstorms. We are going to have a good dry segment tomorrow. It's going to be mostly cloudy, and then showers and thunderstorms start popping up again as we get into the evening hours. Here's midnight tomorrow night. Let's do it again. Big batches, showers, thunderstorms, severe threat with these. Again, mainly wind and hail driving through tomorrow night into Sunday morning, and then they'll start popping up again late Sunday night into Memorial Day, especially on Monday morning. How much rain could we get? A lot of areas are going to pick up 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, maybe upwards of 7 inches of rain. So watch out for that flash flooding threat. 75 Saturday. Let's go 76 on Sunday. Heading outside right now, great shot of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort Indigo just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Upper 60s to near 70 is where we sit through the evening hours. We're going to be dodging those showers and thunderstorms across the region. So mid 70s, only 68 on Monday. All next week 70s. In fact, all of May has not been very warm. So temps below average for this time of the year. And again, just going to be a very stormy weekend.
I'm not really complaining about the cooler temperatures. I'm sure my kids would like it to warm up at the pool. But
yeah, and the lake's warming up and all that.
Yeah, we'll take a little rain here or there. Keep everyone safe, though. All right, thanks, Doug. Well, coming up, could your restaurant tip be tax-free? See how a new bill could change paychecks for millions. Topping today's Consumer Watch, tipped workers across the country could soon see part of their paycheck go tax-free if Congress finalizes a proposal to eliminate federal income taxes on tips. But while the plan is gaining traction in Washington, economists warn it may do little for the lowest earners and could shift tax burdens elsewhere. Nicolaj reports.
No tax on tips, while it doesn't have a direct positive impact on the restaurant itself, is something that most restaurateurs are very supportive of.
For millions of workers in restaurants, salons, and delivery services, tips are part of the paycheck. Now, those tips could soon be exempt from federal income tax.
It really is something nice for a segment of our employee population, and those are the folks that have some portion of their compensation based on tip income.
The bill would allow workers to deduct up to $25,000 in reported tips as long as they earn less than $160,000 a year. And cash tips, despite the name, include those left on cards.
Cash tips are actually considered credit card tips as well in this scenario. So it isn't just the cash that's left on the table. What it doesn't include, however, are service fees. And so that will be something that will require quite a bit of employee education. So for example, if you have a large banquet and you do a 20% service charge, that is treated differently.
The IRS already estimates 84% of tip income, roughly $500 million a year, is never reported. And many tipped workers don't make enough to pay income tax in the first place.
So about 37% of tipped workers don't pay taxes already, so they're going to be unaffected by this law. So it's only the better paid tipped workers who are affected, which means that it may not have that much of an impact on the people who might need the money the most.
The Congressional Budget Office estimates the proposal would add $40 billion to the deficit over the next 4 years, a cost economists say is relatively small, but still notable.
The tax may raise about $12 billion a year. That would be roughly 1% of the deficit, so it's not a huge impact. And relative to the overall size of the federal budget, it would be a small fraction.
Economists also say the bill creates new winners, but may shift burdens elsewhere.
This increases the tax burden on untipped workers, which would be everybody who's getting a salary, which is about half the workforce, and the 98% of wage workers who don't get tips.
Well, both the House and Senate have passed versions of the No Tax on Tips Act. Both will now need to be reconciled before the measure can go to the president's desk. Well, final check of the forecast is next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, heading into summer, just how high will beef prices go? Why cattle ranchers are asking that same question. And then on KOAM News at 6, authorities investigate an attempted murder-suicide in southeast Missouri. Plus, Pitt State baseball takes on Central Missouri with their season on the line. And we take you to Katy Days, find out which events are still going on despite the rain. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and KOAM News at 6. Speaking of the rain.
Yeah, periods of showers and thunderstorms rolling through tonight. Some of these could be a little stronger, maybe low-grade severe, especially after midnight. Morning storms tomorrow, another round of storms tomorrow night into Sunday morning, and then again late Sunday into Monday. So a very wet holiday weekend.
All right. Speaking of Katy Days, we're going to leave you with a live look from Katy Days, where it looks like the rain is taking a pause. Good. Thank you for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and we'll be back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Have a great evening and an even better weekend.